ये श्रवण यह परत कहानी, दास तुम्हार सत्य मम वाणी। यह प्रगटे अठवा द्विज शापा, तोर सुनु भानु प्रतापा। आन उपाय निधन तव नाही, जो हरिहर को पहि मन माही। सत्यनाथ पद गहि नृप भाषा, द्विज गुरु को बकहु को राखा। राखहि गुरु जौ कोप विधाता, गुरु विरोध नहीं को जग त्राता। जौन चलब हम कहे तुम्हारे, हो नास नहीं सोच हमारे। एक ही डर डर पत मन मोरा, प्रभु महादेव शाप अति घोरा। राम श्री राम जय राम। होहि विप्र बस कवन विधि, कहु कृपा करि सो। तुम्हत जी दीन दयाल निज, हितु न देखउ कोहु सिया। वर रामचंद्र की जय। श्री राम जय जय रामा। श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय रामा। श्री राम जय जय रामा। राम राम जय राजा राम, राम राम जय सीता राम। राम राम जय
राजा राम, राम राम जय सीता राम।
राम राम जय राजा राम, राम राम जय सीता राम। राम राम जय राजा राम, राम राम जय सीता राम। सुनु नृपु विविध
अयोध्यापति रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलिए पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय।
Live on 1017 FM from the Esperance Shiv Mandir, Esperance Village, California. And we just had the chanting of the Dasha Doha by Vishala Sudat with tabla accompaniment by Shivan and Pandit Bisram on the harmonium.
मेरे मन राम बसे, हे राम,
मेरे मन राम बसे,
हे राम,
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Jai Ram.
Let us all do salutations to Lord Ganesha, to Mother Saraswati, to Guru, and to Bhagavan Shri Ram. Gajananam Bhutganadisevitam Kapitjambu Halsarbhakshanam Umasutam Shokavinaashakaranam Namami Vighneshwar Padapankajam Ya Kundendu Tusharhar Dhamara Ya Shubha Vastravrita Ya Veena Varadanda Vandita Kara Ya Shvet Padmasana Ya Brahmachyuta Shankar Prabhritibhi Devai Sada Vandita Samapatu Saraswati Bhagavati Samapatu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesh Jagyapaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Lokabhiramam Ranarangdhiram Rajivanetram Raghuvamshanatham Lokabhiramam Ranarangdhiram राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये। कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये। मंगलभवन मंगलहारी द्रव कुसुदशरथ अजिर विहारी।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम।
सब गाइए।
जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
रघुकुल रीति सदा चली आई प्राण नाई वचन न जाई।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
राम कथा के तेई अधिकारी न के सत्संगति अति प्यारी।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
अवध कहाँ जहाँ राम निवासो दिवस तहई जहाँ भानु प्रकाशो।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। वर्णानामर्थ संघानाम रसानां छन्दसामपि मंगलानां च कर्तारो वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम् वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुं शङ्कररूपिणं यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्रसर्वत्र वन्द्यते नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसीरघुनाथगाथा भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति हरि ओम्. Let me welcome all of you to this satsang tonight. It's nice to be back in Esperanza Shiv Mandir and to be in satsang. Tulsidas ji says, we saw in the chaupai just now. Ram Kathat ke tei athikari. That person is fit for Ram Katha. Who loves jinke satsangati ati pyari. Who loves satsanga. Who would prefer find himself in satsang than any other place. So it is great to be in satsang with all of you again tonight and to continue in this wonderful saga of the Ramcharitmanas which we started about 2 weeks ago. When we left it last night, just around 160 or so, Kapatabo ribani mridula boleu juguti samet नाम हमार भिखारी अव निर्धन रहित निकेत. What is happening at this point in the Ramayana? Now see, what you are hearing is one snapshot or a pit stop in a long journey we are making. So what you will be hearing tonight in this temple. Of course, those who are listening on radio every night, they'll hear the whole thing. But if you are coming here for the first night and you did not hear any of the previous night, I guarantee you will be lost. But the fact that you are in satsang is itself a great blessing. We saw on more than one night previously that a person who is in satsang, even if he falls on the right side. Because you could fall on the wrong side also, isn't it? So, if you are lost, don't worry, you're lost in satsang. It's a good thing. It's better to be lost in satsang than be lost in the wrong place. You see? So, I'll try to recap briefly now. And then we'll continue from here. So, just to recap for a few minutes. This portion of the Ramayana, Bhagwan Shiva is responding to questions put by Parvati ji. Parvati ji in her previous birth had heard Ramayana, but she did not pay, she had listened to Ramayana or heard Ramayana, but didn't pay attention. From Agastya Muni we had seen that. And then in that birth as Sati, she had to give up that body because of some transgression she had done and all that, and she was reborn as Parvati. And now in this Parvati avatar, she asks Bhagavan Ram about Ram Katha, Bhagavan Shiva about Ram Katha. And Bhagavan Shiva is now, after telling her how blessed she is to be asking about Ram Katha, she is now listening to this account. What Bhagavan Shiva starts by telling many of the reasons why Bhagavan took avatar, why the Lord took avatar. So, one time he received a sharp from Narad, so he took avatar because of that sharp. Another time, there was a request from Manu and Shatrupa. Those are longer stories. And then so many other stories he told in between, short ones. And now this is another long story, why Bhagavan took avatar. There was Jai and Vijay story, short, like that. They got sharp from Sanat Kumar, like that. So here, Lord Shiva is now entered into another story, telling why Bhagavan took avatar. And in this story, what is there? Satyaketu king had two sons, Pratapbhanu and Arimardan, we saw last night. And Pratapbhanu was the elder of the two sons. And the king followed the Vedic tradition perfectly and took sannyas, means renounced everything when the appropriate age came. Gave the kingdom to the elder of the two sons, whose name was Pratapbhanu. So this is what we are seeing now. This Pratapbhanu, and we saw last night, he was a very, very virtuous king, means he performed his duty as a king properly. And we saw so much about statecraft and all of that kind of thing last night. And all Tulsidashi is writing about statecraft and all. So he followed that. Something very interesting about all of this, we saw last night also, is a person may have all gunas. Gunas mean great qualities. But the nature of, I'm sure you all have seen in poetry and all, that in a harsh desert where there is no water, where the land is arid, where there are rattlesnakes, where there is only cactus. Plural of cactus, cacti? Cacti! And so many, harsh conditions there. Even there you will find a beautiful flower blossoming. And the reverse also. In the midst of all good qualities and all of that sort of thing, you will also find that the person will have a durguna. Durguna means an undesirable quality. But this, Tulsidaji talked in the beginning of his Balkan, we had seen, where he talked about the duality. Guna and aguna. The presence of good qualities and the absence of good qualities. Sometimes they, or the presence of bad qualities, they exist together. And last night we saw a line from a very wonderful bhajan written by a poet of I forget the state now. Just near Delhi. What is that? I'll remember and tell you just now. So he wrote a wonderful line. Let me see if I remember that line from last night. What is that one line and one? सब में कोई ना कोई दोष रहा, सब में कोई ना कोई दोष रहा, एक विधाता निर्दोष रहा, सब में कोई ना कोई दोष रहा, सब में कोई ना कोई दोष रहा, एक विधाता निर्दोष रहा, एक विधाता निर्दोष रहा, सब में कोई ना कोई दोष रहा, सब में कोई ना कोई दोष रहा. What the poet says, that in everybody, and he quotes, I'll tell you, he quotes Ravan. He gives examples. Ravan, then Yudhishthir, then Vishwamitra. Like that. He gives examples of all. The rishis and all. How? We may be this great, but see, Yudhishthir gambled away his wife. Ravan, he says, Mahapandita Jnani, he calls him. Ravana is described as Mahapandit Jnani. What? Abhimani. Sita Maya ko chura liya. Then he kidnapped Sita ji. So all like that he goes on to tell all. So now this Pratapbhanu, and that was the contrast we were making, or the comparison. This Pratapbhanu, most renowned king. And insofar as kingly duties were concerned, and insofar as doing the things that kings are supposed to do, or what kings do, he stood ahead of everybody. But then we saw he had an addiction to hunting. Well, first thing is addiction not good. Right? That is Durgun squared. Addiction not good, that is Durgun squared. Durgun means undesirable trait, evil quality, bad quality, right? So that is Durgun squared. So he had an addiction. Then he had an addiction to hunting. Well, that is Durgun cube. And in the description last night, he went hunting there and killed, met Tulsidas, Bahu, many animals he killed. And for what reason? How much you will eat if you have to eat? Just that means for sport only. It's a terrible kind of hobby. Anyway, so this Durgun was there along with all the great things that he was, and the king was. And he got lost in the forest. And then he came to a little hermitage, a little ashram, something like that. And that ashram lived, and see now Bhavi, in this Ramayana called Bhavi. Bhavi means, what is Bhavi? Destiny. Destiny turned averse to this Pratapbhanu. Pratapbhanu means, Bhanu means sun. Pratap Rabi means, Pratap means the blazing sun, like that. Well, now his sun is about to set. Bad things are going to happen. He came across this little hermitage, and in that hermitage there was Kapat Muni. Means a false Muni, a former king who was in the guise of a Muni, sage. This is where he came. And that former king happened to be one of the kings whose kingdom Pratapbhanu had conquered. And this fellow had run away at that time. And he ran to the forest, and he there donned the vesh of a Muni, the clothes, the guise of a Muni. And he was living in this little hut. Well, of course, he is no Muni. And he is a former king, and had a grudge against this Pratapbhanu, because it was Pratapbhanu who conquered his kingdom. And all such things. Now today, that story will unfold further. So this is, in a few minutes, this is where we reach. Now see number 160. This is where we start today.
समेत राम बोले जुगति समेत नाम हमार भिखारी अब निर्धन रहित निकेत सिया
I told the king's condition. First, the Kapat Muni is Baidi, his enemy. See where he landed, eh? And Tulsidaji says, when things are about to go wrong, everything that happens there, it will all be supporting that whatever is supposed to happen to us. Then, that fellow is, that Kapat Muni is, first his enemy. Then he Kshatriya, Tulsidas, this is already in the line before, just before, a couple lines before. Huh? Kshatriya, then he is Raja, he is king also. Meaning, Tulsidas lists this. Eh? Why he lists? Chal bal kina chahai nija kaja. He is an enemy, he is a Kshatriya, and then he is a king. So he has the wiles of all of them. That is the meaning. And therefore this Pratapbhanu had no chance. Then Pratapbhanu asked, who are you? He said, Naam hamar Bhikhari. Bhikhari. My name is Bhikhari. Bhikhari means beggar. My name is beggar. Why? Ab nirdhan rahet niket. I live as a pauper. I live without any wealth. I live on nothing, like that. Kapatabori bani mridu. And he spoke, and Tulsidaji describes. This is very important thing. Why I am telling? He says, Bani mridula boleu jugati samet. Let me just tell you a little thing. I have experienced them many times, especially here in Trinidad. A person will come and they will give a flawless story why they want money. Have you seen? I was in Cuba this morning. I live in quite Flanagan. And somebody picked my pocket boy. I have no money to reach back home. And the story is told without flaws. Eh? Have you experienced? When I was in California here, one day one fellow come like that. He come with a list. He come with a page like this. And it have some heading and it have a phone number. So I said, what happened? He said, man, we're raising money to build a temple. I said, oh. So, what about the stamp and all that? No, we have no stamp. It now start. Will you tell him, given good reason why? Eh? I said, so if I call this phone number here, I will be able to verify what you say? Yeah, I could call your phone number. I said, you're sure? It have a police living right across the road, you know. I'll call him. He said, yeah, you could call the policeman. No problem. So I really called the police. So the policeman come. And the policeman called the number. So a lady on the other side answered the phone. Do you know such and such gentleman? Yeah, I know him. You all raising money for a temple? Yeah, we're raising money for a temple. I'm a police officer and I just detained him and I'm trying to verify whether this thing is genuine or not. The lady put on the phone, say, I don't know him, and she put on the phone. When she said, I don't know him, and she put on the phone, this fella take off. And there's a drain, I tell you, that drain wide from here to where Shivana's sitting there. That drain about 10, 12 feet wide. He jumped over that, you know. But the presentation, why I'm telling, because there's one word in the Doha here, Juguti. Juguti word means yukti. Yukti means a rational, logical presentation with no flaws. And do you know, people who have wrong intent, they do that better than people who have right intent. They present that thing so well. So this Kapat Muni, false Muni, there, speaks, Tulsidas uses the word, he uses this word several times in his Ramayana. You'll see this, we'll see it again, we'll see it so many times. I remember especially in Sundarkand, when Vibhishan is describing to Hanumanji how to find Sitaji, Tulsidaji uses this word Juguti also. Because you have to tell, go 1 mile this way, then make a left turn. Then you have to be clear now. Otherwise what happened? That fellow end up somewhere in the labas. Clear things. So Juguti means rational, clear, that kind of thing. Yukti, logically. This is so all of that. So he explains very nicely to this Pratapbhanu. Then Pratapbhanu slowly started having faith in this Kapat Muni. Kapat Muni also is using the right, perfect type of support from the scriptures to present his point. And that is, Munis live with nothing. So the first thing is, I am nirdhani. I have no wealth, no nothing. I am living in this house here all by myself. Tulsidas ji puts a note of caution for all of us. What is this? Number 161, you see that. Note of caution. Tulsi dekhi subesha, bhulahi murna chatura nara. Tulsi dekhi subesha, bhulahi murna chatura nara. Sundar ke kihi pekhu, vachan sudha sama asana ahi. Sundar ke kihi pekhu, vachan sudha sama asana ahi. Siyavar Ramchandra ki jai, pavan sut Hanuman ki jai, Umapati Mahadev ki jai, bolo bhai sab santan ki jai. Tulsidaji says, Tulsi dekhi subesh, bhulahi mudana chatura nara. When we see somebody dressed up nicely, this is a very, very profound thing. I want you to think about this thing deeply. You have to reflect. I see the wisdom is coming from way back to Tulsidaji, I'm telling. When we see somebody dressed up nicely, he says, not only a fool is fooled by that fellow, even wise people are fooled by that fellow. Because he dress up nicely. And he's talking, it's Subesh. Subeshu is the word which is used. I'm talking about dressing nice clothes. So a wise person has to learn to see beyond the clothes. Not because somebody dressed up in a nice suit and jacket and tie and all that kind of thing. You understand what he means to say? He said the idea is, and see how strong, that not only a foolish person is misled by that dressing could fool even a wise person. Chaturanara. Chaturanara. A wise person also. So how powerful is that dress? And that the reverse of this is also true. The reverse of this is also, reverse means what? The corollary, or if you want to call, that if you want to make a statement to the world about dharma, or about what you stand for, when you stand for something, then you also not only have to play the role, but you also have to look the role. Isn't it? Because the Vesh has a tremendous impact. Vesh means clothing. Suvesh is giving. Vesh is, the Vesh is Hindi. Besh is Awadhi. And Vesha is Sanskrit. You hear me using any one of them, whichever one fly out from my mouth, that's how I say. Besh, Vesh, Suvesh, Vesh, Vesha, like that. All mean same. So, very important thing, we are easily fooled by clothes, nice dress, and that, nice and dress up. And actually, culture evolved like that long ago. I remember telling somebody by the road, hey, you're well dressed up nice, you're going penal or what? Means from our village, which is a rural village, which is far in the bush like, and you see somebody dress up. That means they're going penal, because that's where only shopping and everything was at that time. So you could tell. But anyway, Tulsidas is a word of caution. And he gives an example in the second line. What is this example? Sundara keki hi peku. Look at a peacock. Look at a peacock. Peacock is most beautiful with eyes on the feathers, isn't it? Most beautiful. And not only that, Bachana Sudha Sama. And its voice and singing also is like honey. But then what? Asana ahi. He eats snake. Eats poisonous snake. So all which is happening here is the outer appearance is nice, but inside is not so nice. That is the idea. So this is with regard to this Kapat Muni. Now, as the Muni went on talking and boasting about his own Muni state, I live without wealth, I live without meeting people, I have not gone anywhere to anybody's house. I do go to anybody's house, I have never been to anybody's house. I don't eat here, eat there, and this and that. All sorts of things are there. The king now, Pratapbhanu, he was slowly falling for all of this false salesmanship of the Muni. Before 162, between the two. Jimi jimi tap sukha thai udasa.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Timi timindre pahi upaj viswasa.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Dekha swavas karma man bani.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Tab bola tapas bag dhyani.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jaya Raghu Rama.
Jaya Raghu Rama.
Jai Sita Rama.
Jai Sita Rama.
Syawar Ramachandra ki jai. Jimi Jimi tapas kathai udasa. The more and more the Kapat Muni spoke about his udasinata. Udasa. Udasa means his one who is a recluse, one who is away from the world, one who is alone, like that kind of thing. That's called udasa. Aloneness, and how he is away from all material things of the world. And more and more he spoke about that. Timi timi nipahi upaja viswasa. More and more the king's faith in this Kapat Muni grew. Dekha swabasa karma mana bani. When he saw that this king, Pratapbhanu, was now in body, speech and mind won over. When the Kapat Muni saw, well, I win him over, body, speech and mind. Now he ready to do anything I say. Tab bola tapas bag dhyani. Then with great attention now, my words have to be measured. The Kapat Muni, former king, he thinks to himself, his words have to be measured and precise. Great attention. Now what he says. What was he told before? My name is Bhikhari. Right? Now see next line. Naam hamar ekatanu bhai. My name is Ekatanu. Now he changed his story. And it's Pratapbhanu also pay no attention. Just now he told his name is Bhikhari. Now he says, my name is Ekatanu. Sunindripa boleu puni siru nai. Now when this Pratapbhanu heard this, he bowed his head before this Ekatanu. Kaunam kar artha bakhani. Oh, great Muni, tell me, what is the meaning of Ekatanu? How much faith he has developed in this Kapat Muni now? He wants to know the meaning of his name. Moi sevakati apana jani. Consider me to be your sevak. And tell me the meaning of your name. He explains the meaning of his name now. Ekatanu. This is one more important thing. All of our names have nice meaning. You should learn the meaning of your name and try to live up to that. Learn the meaning of your name and try to, if every Hindu does that, then he will attain mukti. You just learn the meaning. You should exemplify your name. And not your name Anand and you're crying every day. What is your name? What is your name? Sukhlal. Sukhlal. Sukh means happiness, right? Sukhlal, but he living like Dukhlal. Dukh means sorrow. Live up to the. You smile and laugh and be happy. Yes, that is the idea. You will attain bliss, Ananda. Now he explains the meaning of Ekatanu. आदि सृष्टि उपजे जब ही सब उत्पत्ति भय मोरि राम नाम एक तनु हेतु तही देह न धरी बहोरि सिया पर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम पवन सुत संतन की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। आदि सृष्टि उपजी जब ही, when this whole universe was first manifested, Adi Srishti, when the universe was first manifested, जब ही तब उत्पत्ति भय मोरी, that time I took this bodily form. When this whole universe was manifested in the beginning, I took this bodily form. Naam ekatanu hetu, and therefore I am called as ekatanu because te deha na dhari bahori. From that time to now, I did not take another body. I have the same body. Now you see this thing. And I tell you this, Pratapbhanu, I don't know what's wrong with he. We have to resign it to Tulsi that she was a bhavi. Bhavi means the what is it? The bad time take him over. Because see, all avatars come and go. Bhagwan avatar, Dash avatar, after one avatar is over, he goes and he again comes. Goes, takes another body, comes. Goes, takes another body, comes. 10 times. Mukhya avatar. Everybody come and go. This Ekatanu telling this Pratapbhanu, from the beginning of the Srishti, I have one body and I have never come He better than Bhagwan. And Pratapbhanu. And do you know, when we imbibe blind faith like this, we get ourselves in real trouble, you know. People who don't question. You please pay attention to this, very, very important. You see, Pratapbhanu, he's questioning nothing. People has come to your door and tell you all sorts of things. And blind faith is certainly not propounded in Hinduism. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. You have faith, you're doing seva, all of this, but pariprashnena, we have to ask questions. Bhagavan tells very clearly in Bhagavad Gita, you know. We have to question. And long ago, the older generation people, they had a really bad habit, I have to tell. Really bad habit. When little children ask anything, they say, you shut up and sit down. That's why you lose so many. That's why you lose so many young people. So you ask and ask a million questions. It's good. The scriptures tell. Arjuna is asking so many questions in Gita. Parvati ji, he has such nice questions she asked to Lord Shiva. Means ask sensible questions with regard to the topic and all of that. But ask. This Pratapbhanu is asking nothing called blind faith. And we certainly do not propound blind faith. We do not advise any blind faith. He is telling something which the whole Srishti has never seen. Even an avatar gives up that body and goes. He is telling something. He means he surpassed the avatar too. And Pratapbhanu said, what? Really? Oh my God, I don't know how I was so lucky to meet you. This is Pratapbhanu. So now even though he did all his kingly duties and all that, you see, and this is one very important thing here, which is coming out in this katha. Please pay attention to this. A person may have every guna listed in scriptures, but if he doesn't have jnana, knowledge, that is why we see. We saw in Bhagavad Gita in one of the previous days. Bhagavan is telling in Gita, Purushascha vipaschitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prasavam mana. That may be some great wise person also. If he doesn't have the proper knowledge of scriptures or Upanishads and all of that, he'll swept away by the sansara and all his vagaries. You see? So he has such great qualities. But until one has Upanishad Jnana, you know, one is liable to be swept away very easily. So this king is being swept away now. Kapat Muni. Jani acharaj karahu manamahi sutta tapate durlabha kachunahi. And he tells, he uses justification from the scripture and it means to say Pratapbhanu then did not have proper knowledge of scriptures. To justify his position. What is the position? That I have not taken a body from the dawn of this manifested universe. I have not taken another body. When so many avatars have taken body, come on, gone. And he says, this is achieved by tapa, my dear boy. He tells him just so you know, the word there. Sutta, he called him, Sutta. You know my father, my dear boy? Sutta. Sutta tapate durlabha kachunahi. And nothing in this world is difficult to achieve by tapas. So he uses a very strong Upanishadic statement. And he quotes Upanishad also, just like Narad was quoting to Parvati ji to tell her to go on. Tapabala sambukarai sanghara tapate agamana kachu sansara. Tapabala Vishnu bhaye paritrata. Tapabala te jaga Srijai Vidhata. By tap, he is quoting Upanishad. This is Upanishad. So the Kapat Muni quoting Upanishad. And he's justifying his fake position. And it shows then that Pratapbhanu was not really conversant with the scriptures to the extent he should have been. Then Sunimahi Pratapa Basabayau Apana Nam Kahana Taba Layau. When he had come there, king's diplomacy is they don't tell their name. Oh, I don't know if diplomacy, but shrewdness. They don't tell their name. So he had told him that he is the minister of Pratapbhanu. When he had come to that ashram, the first reaction is never to tell their name. Now that he is so taken over by this Kapat Muni, he tells his name now. My name is Pratapbhanu. Then this Kapat Muni said, but I know, wait, tell me for. I know everything. Sunu mahis asi niti jahatah namana kahi nripa mohito hit para ati priti soi chaturtha bichari tava. Because you did not tell me your name when you came, and I knew your name, I had more love for you because you were following kingly duty properly. You were following it properly, so I had more love for you. Naam tumhar Pratap Dinesa, your name is Pratapbhanu, and Satyaketu tava pita Naresa, and your father's name is Satyaketu. The Kapat Muni telling him everything now. Of course, Kapat Muni is king from before, so he knew all of these things, not anything. Then, Abba, now I am very pleased with you. This is now after 163. See that. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Ab prasanna mein samsaya nahi.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Maguj bhoop bhav man mahi.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Suni subh bachan bhoop harshana.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Suni subh bachan bhupati harshana.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Kahi pad vinay kini vidhi nana.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama. Syavar Ramachandra ki jai. Ab prasanna mein samsaya nahi. My dear Pratapbhanu, now I am very pleased with you, and I have no doubt in my mind that you are a great bhakta, great devotee, great level, like that kind of thing he means to say. That's what he means. Magujo bhupa bhava manamahi. You ask for whatever boon that is there in your mind. Kapat Muni. This fellow lost his kingdom and he can't even get back a cow from his kingdom. He want to give boon now. Magu. He said, you ask. Suni Subachana Bhupati Harshana. And now this other fellow now. This is the Guru and the Chela now. Hare Krishna. Jaisa Guru Vaisa Chela. As is the Guru, so will be the Chela. Kabir Sahib writes at one place, Guru Lobi, the Guru greedy, Shishya Lalachi, and the Shishya Ravnas. दोनों चरचर पत्थर के नाव. Patthar ke naam means both of them going in a boat made out of stone. You ever see a boat made out of stone go float? Bapure dube mare. Boat sink and gone. This fellow, he lost the kingdom, he even have a cow remaining. But he want to give boon. And this other man fall. Now see, very interesting. This moves on to a very nice katha actually. You ask for any boon which is there. Now, you tell me, if you meet a guru like that, who greater than the avatar, because he never take a body. He never take a second body. He passed the avatar also. If you meet a guru like that, and you are really shastravan, you are really lodged in a shastric tradition, what are you going to ask for? As a person who is lodged in the shastric tradition, what he is supposed to ask for? He is supposed to ask for mukti, isn't it? See what this Pratapbhanu asked for now. Then you know that Shishya Sudha Guru. Huh? See this thing. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai
164. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Jara maran dukh rahit tanu samar jite jani ko. Ek chhatra ripuhin mahi raj kalap sat ho. Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai sharanam Sitaram. Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai sharanam Sitaram. Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai sharanam Sitaram. Let me tell you something. See, Bali, we'll come to that in Aranyakanda. Bali is described by Bali and Ravan, two of them, is described in this Ramachandra, not only Abhimani. They didn't have a simple arrogance. Maha Abhimani. They are described in this Ramayana. And this Bali, when Bhagavan Ram came before him and he was about to die, seeing Ram, he knew he'll get mukti. Bali, whose conduct on the earth was so bad that the Lord himself had to send him back. Bali was one of the devatas. See, all the devatas came as monkeys. To do what? To help Bhagavan Ram remove Ravan. This is why all the devatas came as monkeys. He's Indradev. He came as Bali, Indra Amsha. to help Bhagwan Ram remove. His conduct was so bad, Bhagwan had to tell, in other words, what Bhagwan is telling effectively, look, you are no use here now, boy, you better go back. And he killed him. His conduct was so bad. And even that Bali whose conduct was so bad, in the end, when it is time to see Bhagwan Ram and get mukti, Bali said, no, don't save me in this body. I see in you. I mean, anybody who's seeing you die, they will surely get mukti. Bali whose conduct was so bad that Bhagwan had to remove that. Bali also had the value for mukti, and that moment chose mukti over any other thing. Now this fellow, this Pratapbhanu, when he has an opportunity to ask the greatest being in the universe, who is greater than the avatar also, this must be Ishvara himself. Listen to what he asked for now. You see the vainness of people. You know why I'm telling this? Because people who read Pratapbhanu's story, they come and they ask me this question over and over. Swami, Pratapbhanu was such a nice man. Why he have to suffer so? Jara, Marana, Dukh, Rahit, Tanu. Rahit means this body of mine. First thing he jumped to is the body. Dehatma Buddhi. First thing is the body. This body of mine should be free from old age, from death, and from sorrow. What should be free? Body. In other words, let me be bound to this body forever, for eternity. And let it be free. Because you're asking for no death also for the body. And the scripture tells, we are born with Dehatma Buddhi. Dehatma Buddhi, I think I am this body. And we are supposed to graduate to Sarvatma Buddhi. I am supposed to graduate to the state where I realize I am one with everything in the universe. I am not this body. This is the goal of scriptures. So when the greatest being in the universe now, because in his mind this is the greatest being in the universe, comes before him, what he asks, let this body be free from dukkha, means disease, maran, death, old age. Then next thing, samarajite janiko. May nobody ever conquer me in the battlefield. May I never be conquered in the battlefield. Then, ek chhatra ripuhina mahi raja kalapasata koti. I should be the sole ruler of the whole world, and for how long? Kalapasata, for 100 kalpas. So what he wants is what we call it, he has so strongly attached to the Asian, and this is called name and fame and power and position and all of that. And then, and with that comes, you see, all the wealth. So there is lokeshana, vitteshana, putreshana for the body. Body has putreshana only. All the Asian are strong like that. Huh? Instead of asking for the highest goal, highest thing that these scriptures talk about. So now, when the Kapat Muni heard all of these, he said in his mind now, oh, well, here's another opportunity now to tie the noose around this fellow's neck stronger. Another opportunity to tie that noose stronger now. See, this is just after the Doha there. After 164, he tells, certainly, कहता पस नृप ऐसे ही होई।
श्री राम जय जय रामा।
कारण एक कठिन सुनु सो।
श्री राम जय जय रामा।
कालहु तु अपद नाई सीसा।
श्री राम जय रामा।
एक बेप्रकुल छाड़ी महिषा।
श्री राम जय
सूत्र की जय. कह तापस नृप ऐसे ho, it will certainly be like that. Tathastu. It means you want, your body must not die, it must not have old age, and it must not have any disease. Because diseases are bringing dukkha in the body only. Dukkha. Then you will rule for satakoti, what is it? Satakalpa, 100 eons. And then nobody will conquer you. So be it. He bless him now. Well, that blessing and none is same, you know that. Let me tell you something. People have a habit of going to ask for blessing. Swamiji, bless me now. People have a habit of going to ask for blessing all the time. If we just be a nice person and do good things, all the blessings will be yours for free. Muft. Free. You don't have to go to ask for blessing. I told you last night in prayer, last night or the night before, in prayers when people ask. Justification for prayers, asking in prayer, is a very poor justification. Asking in prayer. Prayer should be prayer of glorification. Prayer of praise. Prayer of adornment. I adore you. I praise you. I glorify you. I appreciate your greatness. I stand in awe at your magnificence. That is that type of prayer. Or recognition. Asking, because, and let me just repeat it for all those who didn't hear that. Tulsidas ji writes in this Ramayana, Karma pradhana visvakari rakha, jo jasa karai so tas phalu chakha. As we sow, so shall we reap. So if you're asking for something in prayer, and you didn't sow, means you didn't sow anything, means you didn't do any karma to get it, but you're asking for it. That means what? So what Bhagwan will say, see, you go to Bhagwan, right? Bhagwan, you tell, you admit, you're honest also. You're going to say, Prabhu, I know I didn't do the karma to get it, but please give me now. Bhagwan will say, simply, but you see, if I give you, the next person who comes and tells, well, I didn't do the karma, please give me, because look, just give that fella. What Bhagwan will do now? So Bhagwan will have to now break the rule for everybody, and the rule of karma, gone. Anarth ho jayega. The whole rule of karma gone. Because why you go give person A and not person B? On what basis? Two of them devotees, they're going to the same temple. And they have the same guru. And A asks and he give him. How are you going to refuse B? That is why you put the law of karma. A and B, then you want to get the thing, do the karma. And suppose you did the karma. Jo jasa karai so tasa phalu chakha. As you sow, you will reap. If you do the karma, you will get it. Then we have to ask for them. Bhagwan, don't put the rule. It's like you write the exam and you hand in the paper to the teacher. Then you're going to ask the teacher for marks. But if you don't write the exam, the teacher will give the marks whether you ask or not. Correct or not? So the justification for asking in prayer is a very poor one. Therefore, the Rishi's advice, don't ask. And if you have a bad vasana, you have to ask, because some people can't stop asking. You have a bad vasana and you have to ask. Then ask for the benefit of others. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, I tell you the prayer, that's why the prayer is there. Let all be happy. Sarve santu niramayaha. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. May not nobody be miserable, unhappy. Like that. So, now this Pratapbhanu asked like that and he went on asking. And then asked for the vain things like that. Now, Kapat Muni, yeah, so be it. So he get a boon, which is really no boon. And listen to the boon now. Karana ek kathin sunu so. You, whatever you just ask for, you have it. Done. Consider it done. But it have one little problem in that. Now you see, anytime the conditions start coming down, that means something is amiss, right? It have one little problem. You see, kalo tua padanai sisa. Even Yamraj will come and bow at you. Even Yamraj. But it have one little problem. Ek biprakula chari mahisa. These Brahmanas, those fellows, tapa bala viprasada bari ara. They are very powerful because of tapas. Brahmanas do a lot of tapas. And because of their tapas, they are very powerful. And therefore, tinike kopana kou rakawara. You should not get on their wrong side. If they get angry with you, and they give you sharp, that is the only way you will die. Now what? He set him up and he also put a clause there now to keep him under control. Now, what will be the next question in Pratapbhanu's mind? Well, how to appease the Brahmanas then? So that they don't give me shrap. Then, little bit down, he moves. He puts another condition. Just now, first he said, granted. If you go now after 165, you will see. He puts another condition. Tate me tohi barjau raja kahe katha tava parama akaja chate shravan yaha parat kahani Nas tumhara satya mama bani. Another condition. Just now he told, he asked, I should not die. Now he tell him 2 ways already that he's going to die. One is if these Brahmanas give you a shrap, you gone. Next thing, this thing which I am telling you, all this story and katha about me and all this boon which I gave you and everything, if you tell any other person, you're dead. But that was not the boon in the beginning. What the boon you tell me, I will not die. But Pratapbhanu was saying nothing like, okay, Guruji, as you say. He's like that kind of bhav only, yeah? As you say. Then, yaha pragate athava dvija shrapa na sator sunu bhanu pratapa. These are the 2 ways in which you will die now. Yaha pragate means you reveal this thing which between you and I. Chateshravan means a 6th air. 6th air. Chata means 6. Means we have 4. Your 2 airs and my 2 airs. 4. If it reaches to 6th airs, you're dead. Athava dvijashrapa, or the curse of the Brahmanas. No. Ekahi darapat mana mora prabhu mahideva shrapa ati ghora. Now Pratapbhanu replied, well, I only have one fear in my life now. What? Shrap from Brahmanas. About telling anybody else? No such thing will happen. I'll not tell anybody else about this thing. And I want you to see now from number 166 to the end of today's session, there is a word which is going to come. It's a very powerful word. And that's why I keep telling, when we read the English translation really doesn't have any impression on the mind. At least one good thing, we could come to a satsang and we could hear the words explained and all. But if you're reading like that, the impact of the mind will not be there, the English. You have to try to see those words. Now you look out for a word. I'm going to tell you the word. The word is called, in Sanskrit, Vasha. Vasha means to control. Vasha. In Hindi, that Vasha becomes Vash. And in this Avadhi, it becomes Bus. 166. This bus word, and you will see how many times this bus or any form of bus is coming. In other words, this Kapat Muni is going to lay out a plan for Pratapbhanu to bring the Brahmanas under his control. Now what a thing. One more thing about that. We should not want to have anybody under our control in life. That is not a good thing. That is proper bondage. Baba, in Guyana is a proper bondage. To have anybody under your control, that is the burning candle of the Abhiman. This is a subtle way in which the Abhiman survives and perpetuates itself to keep anybody under control. And this is what the two of them are going to set out to do. And control who now? Brahmanas. Number 166.
प्रवस कवन विधि कहु कृपा करि सो राम कहु कृपा करि सो तुम तजि दीन दयाल निज हितु न देखउ कोसिया पर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम
पावन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय,
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम
Ho hi viprabhasa kavana vidhi. To control the Brahmanas, tell me the means. What are the means? Kau kripa kariso. Have compassion on me and tell me. To bring them under my control. Tumataji deen dayal nijad hitu na dekhau ko. Other than you, I do not see many benefactor again in this world for me. Other than you. Oh Muni, oh sage, oh Guruji. Then Muni now tells, and Muni now hatches a nice plan. What is that plan? Well, you know, there's one way by which you could control all these Brahmanas and be sure that you will not get any shrap. But that thing puts me in a dilemma. What is the dilemma? In order for this plan to work, I will have to come to your kingdom. I'll have to come to your palace, and I don't go no way. I don't go by anybody's house. I've never been to anybody's house. Now see what a dilemma you have put me in. Aaju lage aru jabte bhayau. This is after 166, and some lines down. Kahu ke griha graman na gayau. Until today, I have never gone to anybody's house, no anybody's village. What is about house? Village also, I remember, as Panda village, I never gone. Jau na jau, tava hoi akaju. But oh, dear king, if I don't go to your palace, you will be in real trouble. You will be in some real trouble. Bana ai asamanjasa aju. Now see today what dilemma I have fallen in. First of all, I have never gone. Second, if I don't go, you will be in real trouble. That is called a predicament. Dilemma. Now, when somebody has taken a vow, right? When somebody has taken a vow, and you know the person, what becomes your duty? In Shastras, dharma is, if that person has taken a vow, and you know the person well, your duty is to see to it and do everything to help that person maintain their vow. Not to break, of course, that's what you do, but you're not supposed to do that. Not to break their vow. Out of joke and all you may do. 4 monks were there sitting in our room, 4 corners of the room. And in the middle of the room, there was a diya lighting. And the 4 of them sit down in the corner and they were meditating. Then, at one point, the diya was about to out because the oil burned out. And these 4 monks, they had taken a vow of silence. Mauna vrata, vow of silence. So, when the diya about to go out, you just smell that thing, nah? You just smell that, a smell has come. So all the 4 of them smell, they open their eye. So this one thinking, I hope that fella get up and put some oil. And that one thinking, I hope he get up and put some oil. And he thinking, and like that in circle. And now they can't talk also. Because they take a vow. At one point, one of them couldn't bear it anymore, man. Because nobody had put in oil. He said, won't somebody get up and put some oil in the diya? So the second monk quickly, hey, you talk. Third monk, hey, you know when you tell he you talk, you talk. Last monk, I the only one who had talked. But when somebody takes a vrata, you should see to it and help the person so that they don't have to break their vrata. Now see Pratapbhanu. See to what depth he has sunken. This is just before 167. If he is the guru, he greater than the avatar, and you are his disciple, and he has taken a vow not to go to anybody's house or village or any such thing like that. But you are supposed to. I told you, na, Jaisa Guru Vaisa. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Bare sanehal tumam par karahi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Giri nij sirani sada trina dharani.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Jaladi agad mauli vaha phenu.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Santat dharani dharat sir renu. Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Jaya Raghu Ram.
Jaya Raghu Ram.
Jaya Sita Ram.
Jaya Sita Ram.
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय बरे स्नेह लघुना पर करही. Oh great master, great guru, the great always has compassion on the not so great. And you are great, and I am nothing in front of you. And the rule in the world is that the great will always have compassion on the not so great. How? He gives 3 examples, he gives several examples. Girina Nija Sirani Sada Trina Dharani. The big, great mountains, they even support little grass on top of their head. Like that he's trying to... Jaladi Agada Maulivaha Penu. The ocean is so big and fathomless, and it still supports a little bubble and froth, you know. Bubble and froth is nothing, but the ocean supports. Santata Dharani Dharata Sira Renu. And the earth is so huge and massive, and still it supports little dust particles. In this way, I am like the bubble, I am like the dust particle, I am like the little grass on the top of the mountain. You are like the mountain. Asakahi Gahe Nare Sapada. And saying like that, he fell on the feet of this Muni, Kapat Muni. Swami, Hohu Kripa, have compassion on me. Break your vow. That is in effect, that is what he is saying, isn't it? Mohilagi Dukha Sahiya Prabhu Sajjana Deen Dayal. I will have great sorrow if you don't, you please. In other words, he exhorts this Kapat Muni to break his vow. Then, Avasika Jame Karihau Tora. Certainly I will come to your kingdom and I will do your bidding. Manatana Bachana Bhagat me to Mora. Mora. In body, speech and mind, you are my devotee. So I will come there. Joga Juguti Tapa Mantra Prabhau Phalai Tabahi Java Kariya Durau. All the yoga and mantra and all the things that I have practiced will certainly bear fruit for you. Jau naresh me karau rasoi tuma parusahu mohi janana koi. I will come and I will be a cook in your palace. I'll come there and be a cook. Anna soi joi bhojana karai soi tava ayasu anu sarai. This is tava yasu anusarai means I will cook and you will feed the brahmanas. And every brahmana who eats that food, he will come under your control. Again the word is coming. He is telling him about controlling and he also wants to control. And he just go down one more line again. Punit tineke griha jevai joi ajou tava basa hoi bu pasunu so. And not only anybody who eats that food, which I am going to cook, will come under your control. Well, when he hearing that, his heart lighting up even more because more people will come under my control now. Jayupaya rachahu nripa ehu samvat bhari sankalpa karehu. And we will do this for a whole year. And then, how I will just come to your house and just now that plan is very nice. Suddenly somebody cannot show up to your house, or some new person, they will want to know who is this. Everybody will ask, who is that? So don't worry, I have a plan for that too. Because we can't divulge it to anybody. Because if you divulge this, you're dead. What is the plan? You have a pujari in your house there? In your palace? Well, don't worry. I will kidnap the pujari. I will kidnap the pujari and I will hide here away for a year. And I go take he form. I will come in, and nobody will know. They'll think it's the same pujari, but it could be me. This is the plan. Now Pratapbhanu, happy. Happy. And the Muni said, okay, beta, now go sleep. You're tired, you lost something. You didn't get water and drink, and now you were so tired, now go sleep. Pratapbhanu gone to sleep. And because he was tired, Tulsi Saji says he slept like a log. You feel no earthquake and thing. Slept like a log. And the Kapat Muni, Tulsi Saji says, he couldn't sleep. There's something for you to reflect on. He, out of tiredness, he slept. The one who now sees, you know, like long time when you have to go on an outing? When you have to go outing when you're a child in school and you're going on a, what do you call it, outing? No, another name. Field trip, correct. When you have to go on a field trip, we used to call outing in those days. I don't know what it is called. You're going out. Okay, that is why outing. So, the whole night you are sleeping? Isn't it? Hare Ram. Now this Kapat Muni, whole night he didn't sleep. Well, Pratapbhanu gone to sleep. And he'll wake up tomorrow night at 7 o'clock in another temple. Edinburgh. He'll wake up tomorrow night in the Edinburgh temple. Edinburgh Hindu temple. That's on the main road in Edinburgh. Okay. Ramesh Tiwari ji and family there. Okay. So, we'll see the interesting katha going. I told it will take more than 1 day. 2 days gone already and we... Alright. And I'm not going to tell you how we're going to end. Today I was tempted to tell you, you know. But if I tell you, you wouldn't come. Okay. So, tomorrow, Edinburgh, Hindu, Monday. Then, today, we had the Dasha Doha chanting. Every night, 10 Dohas are being chanted. That's about 70, 80 verses. 10 Dohas every night. Vishala Sidat and Panibishram and Tabla, Shivan, Sinath. Thank you so much for coming. All right. Prasad will be received by Adishesh. You receiving? All right. We're giving prasad every night to whichever temple we go. This is the whole Ramayana, more than 500 hours, where we did the whole Ramayana, every line, and explained. So we are giving to every temple in a flash drive, and you can listen, share it with the members of your temple and all of that. Are these there somewhere? And 500 hours is a long time. You'll take a long time to... 2 years. Yeah. All right. I want to tell you about a program we are having on the 6th of March at the ashram. It is called as Jalpan Extravaganza. Jalpan is so many. We introduced years ago Chai Sanmelan. Now everybody knows what is Chai Sanmelan. So now we introduce another word, Jalpan. Jalpan is a street word in India. A common word, not a street word, a common word. On behalf of Chinmaya Mission, we will present this to you and the members of the temple. Anyway. It means refreshments and breakfast and things to eat and, have jalpan, have some little trinket to eat, something to eat. So we're having jalpan on extravaganza on the 6th of March from 12 noon to 4 p.m. You must come and experience this at the ashram. there'll be many things for you to try out. Okay. So those of you who can sponsor things like ingredients, or those of you who want to come and do some volunteer work on the day, good blessings for you. Okay. You can sponsor some ingredient, buy some aloo or some flour or something, or you could come and just do seva on the day. That is also a great opportunity. Actually, I discovered this only after going to India. Organizations like Chinmaya Mission and these type of groups, right, provide a platform. Suppose you are sitting at home and you're listening to satsang every day and you want to do some seva. What you'll do? Many people don't have avenues. Many people don't have avenues for doing seva. So here's an avenue also. You come to the ashram on the day, there'll be so many things to do. Wash a little pot or peel a little aloo or something. You see? A good opportunity, a platform where people can meet to get an opportunity to do seva. Okay. All right. Before we have the arati, let us call on Mr. Premnath Ramnath to do a quick vote of thanks and khatam kar denge arti ke baad. Thank you.
Sitaramol. On behalf of the Management Committee, President, Mr. Narendra Maharaj, Pandit Munish, and all members of the Esperanza Shiv Mandir, we want to say a special thank you to Swami Prakashananda and the members of your group for giving us this opportunity to host such an event in the form of this satsang here tonight at the Esperanza Shiv Mandir. Swami, we want you to know that this temple is always open for any future events as such to you and your group. And it really couldn't come at a better time than this, knowing that our spiritual head, Pandit Munish Maharaj, will be celebrating his birthday tomorrow.
Oh.
You know, happy birthday, congratulations, Pandit, tomorrow. So we say special thanks to you, Swami, and the members of your group. Also earlier, Pandit Bisram and his group for the chanting. A special thanks to 101.7 FM Heritage Radio for the live broadcast here from the Esperanza Shiv Mandir. Keep up your good work by such as these events, right? To Ravi and Kiran, PA Sound System, you are doing a wonderful job, gentlemen. Keep up your good works. Great. To all those who have prepared in whatever such way as meals and preparation this place here for this event tonight in Satsang, we say special thanks to you. All those who attended here tonight, on behalf of the Esperanza Shiv Mandir, we say special thank you to all for coming out to this event, knowing that there is a pandemic in Trinidad and in the world. And you know, to bring this and come here, it is very a wonderful thing to be here at this time, in this temple, in this satsang. You know, this could help us to whatever negative forces that is surrounding us.
Actually, this is the point.
Yeah. So thank you again. Meals have been prepared for all. So before you leave, you can collect it outside, the parasad and meal. And we all want to say once again, thank you, Swami, and all those who are here present at this function here tonight on behalf of the Esperanza Shiv Mandir. Sitaram all.
Jai Sitaram. Thank you. Premnath ji made the most wonderful point. Please don't forget that point. In times like this, you need more satsang, not less. The carnival people ramping up. So you need more satsang. The carnival and chutney people already getting on there. Please see it like that. Most wonderful point. Thank you for making this point. When bad things befall the world, that time you need more satsang, not less. Okay. And second thing, and just to add one more point there, the scriptures teach abhayam, be fearless. You know on what basis? Because when your time come to go, nobody could savior. And if your time didn't come to go, nobody could take you to. On that basis, you just be fearless. Don't worry. Don't keep these worries in your mind only. You go about your business and with this understanding of scripture. When time comes and you have to go, you will have to go. That doesn't mean to say that you act carelessly and all that. Don't wear mask and don't, nothing like that. You wear your mask and you take all the required precautions. This is life. You have to take the precautions on the highway. You drive as a driver is supposed to drive. But if you have to die in the accident, nobody could save you. So it means you drive carefully. Here also, you wear your mask and you keep your, what is it? Sanitizer and all, everything. You keep it and just don't be scared. I was telling Yamraj going with 5 people. Chitragupta see him on the road. He said, what, young boy? You take 5 of them in one stroke. Yamraj said, no man, I only take 1. The other 4 dead from fear. So don't be afraid. Huh? All right. आरती के लिए सब खड़े हो जाइए. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की. गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद. सुख सनकादि शेष रुसारद बरनी पवन सुत कीरति नीति. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की
कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस. मुनिजन धन संतन को सर्वस सार अंश सम्मत सब ही की.
आरती श्री
रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की. गावत संतत शंभु भवानी अरुहत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी. व्यास आदि कवि बज बखानी राग भुषुंड गरुड़ के ही. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की. कलिमल हरनि विषय रस पीति सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति युवती की. दलन रोग भव मूल अमी की. दात मात सब विधि तुलसी की.
आरती श्री
रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की. श्री राम जय जय राम. श्री राम जय जय राम. Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu, Mangalam Garudadvaja, Mangalam Pundarikaksham, Mangalayatano Harihi, Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhush Chasakha Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Bolo Siyamar Ramachandra ki jai, Pavan Sut Hanuman ki jai, Bolo Bhai Sab Santan ki jai, Shri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Namah Parvati Pataye, Har Har Mahadev. Hari Om Tat Sat. A very special thank
We
you
say
to all the
Hari Om,
people.
and
this
thank you
Mandir
to
and
all our
Ganesha
viewers
and
on
narrator
1017 social
put out so
media,
much of effort
as
to
well
make
as
it happen.
all our
Yes,
listeners
to be with all
on
of you.
1017 TT. We'd like to say a special thank you to all our corporate sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TN Ramnath and Company Limited, Rohan and Shane Auto Electrical, M&V Supermarket, Angie's Baby and Gift Center, and Leela and Fatboy Wholesaler and Retailer of Dry Goods. We say a special thank you to all our corporate sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We like to say a special thank you to Vishala Surat and Shivan Sinath for the Desha Doha chanting, which took place from 6:30 this afternoon. And tomorrow we invite you to join us tomorrow again at 6:30 p.m. for continued chanting of the Ramayana, and tomorrow they should be starting from Doha 171. So we invite you to stay tuned for tomorrow night's broadcast, which will be coming from the Edinburgh Hindu Temple, Edinburgh Village in Shogunas. From the Esperanza Shiv Mandir, Esperanza Village, this is Andy Sergio saying thank you and returning you to Master Control for continued programming.